Welcome to Mysteries, Myths, and Legends. I'm Taylor.
I'm Savannah.
And wow, it's been a minute.
Yeah, and happy birthday, Taylor.
Oh, it's my birthday. It's my birthday episode. For 1 second, I actually did forget.
Yeah.
This is my birthday episode. If you're listening on the day it comes out, my birthday is tomorrow, August 1st. I'm going to be 27. And me and Savannah are going to be the same age for just a short little period of time.
Yeah, because I'm old. I'm older. So you'll always have that at least.
True. But there's always that one like little short periodically time where together we are the same age.
Exactly.
So. But happy Leo season to all my Leos. Yeah. Love you. I'm so excited for my birthday. Except for, okay, me and Savannah, we went a little manic for a second. And thought about, so today is Monday, right?
Yeah.
We thought about purchasing plane tickets to Chicago and going to Lollapalooza on Thursday to see Chapel Roan on my birthday.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's sold out. Or we would have been going to Chicago, Illinois, I do believe.
No, we seriously were about to
like book
buy
the
the
trip.
Tickets. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's sold out. So
we planned this all in probably 45 minutes. Then we were like, wait, okay, we can't get tickets.
We can't go. So I do want to throw this out there. I know there will be literally 24 hours in advance before, but like if anybody out there could do me the biggest birthday present in the whole world and somehow get me and Savannah a ticket, we will pay for the ticket.
Like we just need tickets at least
to enter on Thursday.
Yeah.
And that's all that I need. And that's my birthday, and I would love you. Yeah. So if that is you and somebody can do that for me, email us, please. It's in the show notes.
Yeah.
And if not, I still love you. But I love you less because I want to see Chapel Roan really bad on my birthday. But if
email
not,
or DM on Instagram.
True. But if not, they are live streaming it, so we can at least watch it together, but it just will not be the same.
Yeah.
But... yeah. Anyway, a little bit less about me, but just for a minute. I'm sorry, this is my episode. I'm taking it over.
Yeah, because you do have a lot to talk about.
I have a lot to say.
You just came back from Spain.
I did.
We'll get there.
And it's my birthday. It's just me. Yeah. And also Leo's, they're all about me. And that's totally me. So, But before me. Well, this also does have to do with me. But a little bit less. So we're in the studio.
Yeah, we're in the stew.
AKA Savannah's house. So we walk in, we come into Savannah's house, and all of my podcast gear I keep in a little backpack. So it always feels like we're going to school again when I come over to record. And all everything that I own podcast wise and ghost materials and all of that kind of stuff I keep in this one backpack. So I keep my computer, my microphone, all that stuff, as well as my spirit box and some of the books that I have on rituals that we do, some of that also all in the same bag.
Yeah. And this was crazy because I guess I'll let you tell it. But
no, you tell it.
We were all just talking.
Yeah. So we walk in.
I just hear this buzzing noise. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
It sounds like static. And then it hit me. I was like, oh my God. It's the spirit box.
Yeah.
It just turned on.
The craziest thing about it is I wasn't even gonna. So I took the spirit box update to Spain. We'll get there in my story. But I wasn't even gonna put it in the backpack before I came over here. But I was like, let me just throw it in there because I usually keep it somewhere close in my purse somewhere, right. Just because you never know when you're gonna need a ghost investigation. And so now I honestly think if this recording doesn't last too long, I feel like we should maybe do a little session because I feel like, guys, you don't understand how hard it is to turn on the spirit box. I was just completely standing still and it turned on, and to turn it on you have to hold the power button for 3 seconds. So it's not like you could just it's not like first of all I was standing completely still. Yeah. So I wasn't jumbling around, and you also have to hold it, and yeah.
And it was in a little case.
And it's in its protective case, yeah. And so I don't know how that happened. Could it be explained? Maybe, but it was weird, and it happened right before we were recording.
Really weird.
So we don't know really how to explain that. So fun for us. But I guess that since that's all we have, maybe update the future ?
I know. That. Oh my God.
I don't know.
The update from the ghost in my kitchen.
Yeah, right. What? I mean, we have spoken to some ghosts in your house before, so
yeah. So
it wouldn't be the first time. But okay, before I get started on anything else I have to talk about, I must say that if you are a Spotify listener, starting now, you can leave comments and talk to us through the app.
Oh.
So Savannah's like, what?
I was like, wait, I didn't even know.
She's like, what? Shout out. Yeah. So yeah. If you listen on Spotify, which obviously I'm gonna recommend because I personally am a Spotify girly till I die.
Yeah. No, I listen to all mine on Spotify too.
Yeah. Yeah. Not just ours. I listen to all my music, everything on Spotify. And so if you listen on Spotify, you can leave comments and talk to us, and that's really fun. So do that. But if you listen on Apple, unfortunately, they don't want you to talk to us. So
they don't have it yet.
Maybe
not spawn, but you know,
literally not spawns. But we heart Spotify over here.
Yeah.
No hate to the apples, but I think the apples right to
oh my
the
God.
core. Sorry, I'm still living in Spain, where I was constantly listening to Brat by Charlie X. Yeah, it's Brat Summer, exactly. So that's really in my head. So do you have anything you want to talk about?
Okay, I do kind of want to mention something before, because I know you're going to get into Spain, right?
Yeah.
So I went on a little trip too. Not as far. I went to South Carolina, so it was like a 4-hour drive, not too far. But I went to Huntington Beach State Park, which is in Murrells Inlet, which is kind of close
I've been to Murrells Inlet.
Yeah, it's close to Myrtle Beach, but like away from that. You know.
The vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bad vibe.
It's a different vibe, yeah. It was a lot of fun. Very humid. Oh my God.
Oh, honey, the air is wet down there.
Yes, and we were camping, but we had air conditioning, so that was good.
Oh, thank God.
And also we saw a snake. Me and my mom were on a trail, and it was like the path to the beach, like the beach access, and
in the sand.
It was paved, like the one we went on. There was a snake. It was sitting up. And my mom almost walked right into it. I had to stop her. I was like, oh my God, there's a snake.
It stood straight up. Oh,
yeah. But it went away. It like walked away.
It walked.
It slithered away.
And it waddled away. Waddle, waddle.
Exactly. It was a fun trip, except, I mean, the ocean, like, because it's at the beach. It was like red flag waves
danger.
The whole time.
From the hurricane.
Yeah. Was there a hurricane?
There was. She was like, that was so long ago. Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
I forget his name. It started with a B. I forgot.
But, I don't know.
It was a weird name. No, me neither.
But, okay, there is something ghost related I want to mention. So, there was a castle in this park that we went to. It was more of like a mansion, but they called it a castle. It was at Atalaya Castle.
Oh, cute.
And it was like, I took a lot of pictures. It was really pretty, and it actually had Spanish design to it, because the person who made it, like, they were really into Spanish architecture, so connecting to, your
Love
trip.
That.
And it was kind of like, looked almost like it's been abandoned for a while, because it was like brick, and it was starting to like deteriorate a little bit, but it looked really cool at the same time. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was only I thought the way looking at it looked way older than it actually was. Like, it was built in the 1930s, like not even 100 years old, but it's already like
decrepit.
kind of like falling apart a little bit.
That's crazy.
I guess maybe from the weather at the beach. I don't know, because it is really close to the beach.
Yeah.
But anyway, I thought, because they do have a ghost tour there, and I didn't get to go on the ghost tour, unfortunately, but they have it. So I was like, okay, this place is haunted. I can look into it and look it up.
Yeah.
I look it up. It is not actually haunted.
Wow.
And,
that's so sad.
Their ghost tour is just like, because we're in a creepy building, so we're going to tell ghost stories of the area around. Yeah. So, unfortunately, I was going to do a story all about it, because I was, like, actually there, but, yeah.
Wow, that's actually so sad.
There is actually one part of it that I do want to share, though. In the, like, when you first walk into this property, there's like cages on the side, and so this was like a vacation home for this rich couple,
Mm-hmm.
of course.
Yeah, of course.
And the wife, Anne, she was like artist.
Okay.
And she would make sculptures. And so the cages were for her live models, which were like bears.
What?
Like they were literally called the bear cages. Like she would.
Okay.
Can you imagine?
No.
Like they put like live animals into these cages so she could see what they look like and make art.
That's actually crazy.
But like, that's first of all, putting a bear into a cage in your home.
That's insane. Like, it could get
that's
out.
That's bad for the animal, and that's very dangerous. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Of course it's
like,
bad for the
insane.
animal, but, like, that's actually crazy.
So, yeah, I just had to kind of share that.
Wow.
Like, what?
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
I mean, not haunted, but that's a cool story.
I know, yeah. So anyway, that's my little cool story. I know you have a lot to share from Spain.
Okay, well, I'm not going to, like... I was, in fact, in Spain for 2 weeks, so we don't have the time to go through every single thing that I did. But my story also relates to something, so I'll skip a whole little part. But I wanted to mention just, like, a few brief topics that had to just be mentioned. So, for one, La Sagrada Familia, if you don't know, I learned it means the Holy Family because it's this huge, ginormous church.
Okay, yep.
And it's the one, everybody's seen it, you probably just don't know. It's, like, completely made, all of the windows are different colors of stained glass, and there's no artificial lighting in the whole building. So it's only, like you can only see through the stained glass color. So, like, whatever time of day it is, kind of depicts what color it is in there. I went in there when it was like red, yellow, orange, golden hour. So I went during the perfect hour to go.
That's beautiful.
But in the morning, it's blue and green and like yellowish. So, and you can see all the colors obviously, but just more on one side. There are no words or no pictures to describe what that looks like in real life.
Mm-hmm.
And, okay, also, the outside of it, you can see the windows, but you can't even see that it's, like, stained glass. It looks like regular glass from the outside.
Oh.
And it's, like, really pointy. And it is made to represent, like, and look like Montserrat, which is what I'm going to be covering today.
Oh, okay.
So that's important to know. And we'll get more into that later when I'm telling my story. But, so this building is made to, like, look like the mountains that I'm going to talk about today for my story. Okay. But the front side of La Sagrada Familia is like all really happy sculptures, and it's like depicting Jesus's birth because this is a church. And then on the other side, the back facade is his crucifixion. So everybody's like really sad, and it's like completely different like art form.
Yeah.
Like the front of it is like really happy and like everybody like very is like real looking, and then on the back everybody's like square shaped and like sad and mad looking. It's like so insane. I was in awe, completely in awe. So if you're ever in Barcelona, obviously you have to go see that. And also it was in the Cheetah Girls too.
Oh yeah.
I visited many places that the Cheetah Girls went to in Cheetah Girls 2. And then I went back and rewatched Cheetah Girls 2 the other night. And I was like, oh my God, I've been there.
That's really cool.
Like,
actually.
it was so cool.
I love how you gave us a little teaser for your story.
Yeah, but guess what? That's not it.
Oh, okay.
Because that was in Barcelona. But before I went to Barcelona, I went to this place called Tarragona.
Okay.
And my hotel room was... If I stood on my balcony, I could see the ocean, and then right in front of the ocean on the land was an ancient Roman Colosseum that we got to go down in and do a ghost investigation in.
Oh my God, no way. There's no way.
Yes, we did. And the things, that will have to be a whole nother story on its own, because we just don't have the time today.
Okay.
And me and Dina plan on editing a video to put together we did investigations every single night there, because Spain is very old, like way, like beyond comprehension old.
Yeah. Well, that's just because we're from America. And
yeah. But the crazy thing is like, I didn't really know for sure if the spirit box was real or not this whole time. Like, and I still don't really. Yeah. But one thing that was really crazy to me was that when we did it in Spain, most of the words were coming through in Spanish. And so we did not know what they were actually saying. We just were saying them out loud and then translating the words later.
Yes.
Not knowing we were having an entire conversation that actually made sense.
Were you speaking to them?
We were speaking in both. Okay. And then sometimes it would speak back to us in English. And for example, just a little teaser, it did say 2 American girls in English.
Oh my God.
During one of them.
That's creepy.
There will be a video eventually at some point once we compile all those together. But yeah, it was really crazy. It was really crazy. And we think that we did talk to some Roman gladiators and that. Oh, wow. So that's crazy. Okay. And yeah, so that happened. We did that we did not want to look like crazy people. Yeah. But in fact, the Spaniards, they stay up all night long. So even though we went out there at like 1 a.m. in the dark to do this, people came up to us and talked to us. And yeah, they were like, what are you doing? Like, what's going on? And we were like, oh, nothing. Like, nothing. It would just be weird if we, explained. Yeah. But
they're not into all that.
No, it was not like that. So, but yeah, the food in Spain, so good. I don't even want American food anymore. I did unfortunately get COVID when I got back. Yeah. Everybody in my group did. It was very unfortunate. And last but not least, one thing I learned, I learned many things while in Spain. But one thing I learned is that they celebrate Pride in July instead of June, like we do in America.
Yeah, I just kind of thought June was just, that was
the world.
Everywhere.
Me too. Well, no, that's not the case. Okay. So I got to experience 2 Prides, and I was lucky enough to my hotel was literally right in front of the Pride Festival. So we got to go through it like multiple times. And I unfortunately missed some performances by Jessie J and Katy Perry. But I could hear many different people. And because from my balcony, just straight up, because it was that close. So yeah, I got to celebrate 2 Prides this year. So that was fun.
That is awesome.
It was very fun. But yeah, so that's for now all I have on my Spain trip. If you want to get started on your story, Savannah.
Okay. Well, switching gears kind of a lot.
Yeah. I would imagine.
I mean, maybe not 100% because it is... Okay, I do have a haunted story today.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, today, my story... Okay. Let's just jump into it. I'm going to be talking about the Slippery Noodle Inn.
There is no way that's real.
The Slippery Noodle.
I did not believe you.
No, it's real. I literally have right here. Let's just take a minute for that name. Slippery Noodle.
I quite literally needed a moment of silence for that because I was like, Savannah, is this a prank?
No, it's real. It's real. So
I love the name.
So this place, it was established in 1850. So pretty old. Probably not as old as what you're going to be covering, but
no.
Pretty old for America. In Indianapolis, Indiana. It is actually Indianapolis's longest running bar, and it was originally intended for upscale, it was supposed to be like an upscale roadhouse and bar for travelers, and it's now kind of like a blues bar, so like the blues music.
Yeah, I vibe with the blues.
Yeah. They had many names over the years, so they didn't start out as the Slippery Noodle Inn. They actually were originally the Tremont House, and they were also called the Concordia House, the Germania House, X Saloon, Moore's Beer Tavern, and then during Prohibition, they changed it to Moore's Restaurant, and then after Prohibition, they changed it back to Moore's Beer Tavern. So they were like, and yes, they were still a bar during Prohibition. We'll get into it. And then finally, the last name was the Slippery Noodle Inn.
Love that we landed there. Like, those were all very normal names, and then just all of a sudden we got a Slippery Noodle.
Yeah. I love it. I mean,
me too.
It is a 3-level building, so Just,
Period. That's a big bar.
Yeah. I think most of it is just on the first floor.
Oh, okay.
But when it was originally sort of like an inn for people to stay at, the rooms were upstairs. But they really just used the first floor for the bar.
I see.
So this place, it has a very big history of illegal activity, if we're being honest.
Yeah, okay. I could foresee that.
Yeah. It was an inn, a restaurant, a speakeasy, a brothel, and it was even a stop on the Underground Railroad.
Oh, no way. That's cool.
Yeah. So it kind of quickly became a place for criminals and like a hotspot for gangsters. And there were many shootouts took place here.
Yikes. Big yikes.
So that's why there's so many ghosts, you know. There's
lots of victims.
Just criminal activity.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to say there's good criminal activity, but like, you know, good and bad.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, this place has really just been through it all. It's a good slice of history, honestly. And it's almost like straight out of a movie, like even with what I've listed so far, you know?
Yeah.
So getting into its history a little bit more, it started off as an inn and a restaurant/bar. And it stayed like this for a while, and it was almost immediately involved in illegal activity because during the Civil War, it was the stopping point on the Underground Railroad.
I see. Well, doing that for the good, so shout out to them.
Exactly. Because it was, you know, I guess it was illegal at the time, right? I don't know. I didn't look into it, but...
Oh, definitely. It was illegal back then,
yeah.
But
in Indiana, was it? I guess that's why they're hiding.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it was everywhere at that point.
So, yes. They, they like harbored people. They, it was like a stopping point, and people would hide out there, and then they would go to the next spot on the Underground Railroad by train, coincidentally.
That's so cool.
And, you know, speaking of Underground Railroad, I don't know if this was you as well, but when I was like younger, you know, you kind of picture the Underground Railroad as just like a connection of tunnels underground.
Yeah, totally.
And like that's not 100%. That's not really what it was.
Not really at all.
No, it was more like, you know, people would get like enslaved people would, you know, escape and then go from place to place,
hide out.
Yeah. And you would have to know who was safe to go to get farther up north.
Yeah.
So yeah, but this tavern, like this inn, they actually did have some tunnels.
Love that. Did they use them?
Yeah, they were used for the Underground Railroad.
Well, I mean,
like
that's
tunnels,
good.
yeah. So yeah, that's just like a fun fact. But they are kind of mostly filled in by now, but they did use the tunnels a little bit for this too.
I hate when they fill in tunnels. It really makes me mad.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand the danger, but still.
So yeah, just like the basement was used as a hiding spot, but then also like the tunnels. So there could be ghosts from this, but I mean, for the most part, the ghosts that I'm going to be talking about are not from this.
Okay.
Because I guess most people passed through safely.
Well, good.
Which is good, yeah. And then moving on to the 1920s, during Prohibition, this building, it became a speakeasy. And they served alcohol in the back. It was homemade beer and whiskey. So, fun.
Period.
I feel like a lot of places, like... we've talked about a few places that were just speakeasies, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like most... Like, I mean, I guess, you know, we weren't there in the 20s. But if you imagine, like, most places that were bars before Prohibition, they probably were like, we don't care. We're going to just keep serving alcohol.
Yeah.
Like, there just seems like there were so many of them.
There were.
Like, people just did not care.
No. No. Yeah. Absolutely not. Just like people wouldn't care if they did it today.
I know.
We'd still be drinking alcohol.
Right. It's like if people, you know, people say you can't drink, like, in certain places, like, and people find ways to sneak in liquor everywhere.
Like on a cruise.
Yeah. I was like, thinking on a cruise,
they put
or like
in the Listerine
at
bottle.
the beach.
At the beach.
Yeah.
Oh, me and you are not to incriminate ourselves. We've never done that before. Never. Ever.
So I'm just thinking, like, yeah, Prohibition just must have been such a wild time. Mm-hmm. So anyway, yeah, it had that phase of being a speakeasy, and when Prohibition ended, the place, you know, turned back into a legal bar, and, you know, was normal. But then they're like, okay, well, we need some illegal activity here still. So they turned it into a brothel.
Love it.
On the second
floor.
We
can't be legal. Like, this cannot be a legal place.
They're like, we just need something to switch it up. So on the second floor, they turned it into a brothel. And the first floor was still, like, the bar. Love that. Yeah, kind of trading one illegal activity for another. But then this brothel ended in 1953.
Oh, rest in peace of the brothel.
Two men got into a fight over one of the working ladies.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and one of them was unfortunately stabbed to death.
Oh, my God.
And the bloody knife was left on the bar.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so little...
Good.
Yeah. So after all of this happened, this place kind of turned around in the 60s when the Yagi family, they bought it and they named it the Slippery Noodle.
Why?
So they... See, what I saw for the name... because I was trying to find, like, some sort of explanation, like, why did they name it this?
Yeah.
But apparently they were kind of just, like, up all night, like, trying to think of what the name could be, and all of their family, like, put in different names. They're like, could it be this, and they just decided on that. That was, like, just somebody's suggestion. So
do they serve pasta?
Really, I didn't really look at their menu. They do serve food.
If they do serve pasta, then maybe it can be a slippery noodle. If there's pasta not on that menu... There
probably is pasta, but not only... It's not, like, only noodles, you know? It's, like, other stuff, too.
Interesting.
I didn't look at the menu, though. I should have. I didn't really think about that. So, yeah. They bought it and named it the Slippery Noodle Inn, and they made it more of, like, a lunch counter, more family-friendly vibes, not really, like... the illegal vibes anymore. They're like, nice. Okay, we're turning this place around.
It's gonna be legal now.
Yeah. And they turned it into a blues bar in the 80s.
Love that.
And there's even a sculpture of the Blues Brothers in there. So that's cool. And the Blues Brothers have visited this place and played there. So that's cool. So yeah. And despite this change there have been sightings of some stuff in there. This you're not gonna like.
Great. Great.
I thought I'm trying to see where I'm at here. Okay.
Savannah lost a spot.
So there were sightings of, like, they said that there's bones in the basement.
Okay. Real bones?
Yeah. Okay. Like, bodies were buried in the basement, I guess. So they said that they had no, they didn't remove them. Okay. But they did have somebody bless the place. Like, a priest come and, you know, bless it. And then they just paved over it.
Oh my God, paved over.
Yeah.
Well, there's no wonder that there's spirits in that place today. Okay, but they could have buried the bodies in unmarked graves at a cemetery.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were in concrete. Now, if you were a ghost and if you saw your bones from wherever you were in the universe or whatever, being poured over with concrete, how would you feel? I'd feel a little disrespected, I can't lie.
I mean, I guess so, but, like, you're gonna be there for forever anyway. Like, is it any different if there's dirt or if it's concrete?
I guess not. But that's just crazy that that's like the landlord's like painting over bugs. You know what I'm saying? Like in apartments. Like that's crazy. You could just remove them.
Yeah. So anyway, they did do that.
Good choice.
But anyway, people have seen ghosts here, of cowboys.
Yeehaw.
You know, enslaved people. Just a couple. Like I said before, like not that many, but just like, you know, there's gonna be a few. Because they were passing through.
Totally.
Women who worked at the brothel, and there was a caretaker for the like the inn. So the people who work there, they know that there are ghosts, and they're kind of like okay with them being there. They're fine with it. They've named some of them, and I don't know if these are like their real names or they kind of just like came up with them. But there's Sarah upstairs and George in the basement. And then there's others throughout the building. They said that one article I read said that there was like 12 different ghosts that they know on like a regular basis, but like these two were like the most popular, that they had stuff to talk about. The other ones kind of just like come and go, and they're not really like that like
prevalent.
There's not really like a story around them.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
They just be bumping and thumping in the night.
Yeah, exactly. So they could be, you know, all of the ones I listed. Yeah. So we're going to talk about George. He was the caretaker. He like maintained the property once before, and he's there still taking care of the place, you know?
Oh, George.
He stays in the basement, and he actually wears overalls.
I'm sorry. I don't like any ghost that stays in the basement. I don't even care if George is nice. It just freaks me out.
Yeah. I kind of agree, because basements are creepy already.
Exactly.
So, yeah. And I guess, I mean, he can't be the only ghost down there, because that's where the Underground Railroad was.
And the bodies.
Yeah.
With the concrete.
Exactly. So, George is down there, but he's probably the most, like, prevalent one down there. And then there's, you know, all the ones I just said. Like, the bones that we were talking about. I don't know. Don't know who they are. But them and people who were involved in the Underground Railroad. You know. But anyway, George, he has actually scared unsuspecting keg delivery drivers. So they'll like deliver the kegs of beer to the basement, and a few times it's happened where they flip the light on and they see George like directly in their face.
No. See, no.
Like right in their face.
No. Why would he do that? Why would he do that? That's my worst fear. Because I always think that's going to happen when I'm staring into a dark room and I'm about to flip the light on. I'm like, if somebody's standing in front of me, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Well, that's what he does. I don't know if it's to scare them or he's just like not paying attention. He's like, I'm just.
Or he's like, you got games on your phone.
Right. Oh my God. Yes. So yeah, there's at least one driver who delivered there that was like, I'm never coming here again.
I was just going to say, I'll deliver the keg to the front door. And that's it. I ain't going down them steps again.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's like what's going on in the basement.
Yeah, that's a lot, and I don't like that at all.
There weren't any real stories for ghosts in like the main area. Well, there kind of was. Okay, I'll get into it. So the former brothel / former inn was on the second floor, and people find like cold spots and unexplained noises coming from this floor. Just both of those things, I mean, they're vague enough, but like it would scare me.
Yeah, no, I don't like it.
Yeah. So this floor is also, you know, since I said it was a brothel, it's the place where somebody was killed in a knife fight, right? And he has been seen on the second floor.
Yikes.
Yeah.
The guy that died.
Yeah.
No, that's sad.
Yeah. And people say that he looks like a cowboy too. So I'm like, interesting. Because I feel like that's past, because it was like during the 30s, 40s. So like, were cowboys still around then? I don't even know.
Just a part of the Pink Pony Club? Yeah, somebody give us chaperone tickets. No, I'm just kidding. Or maybe he was just like dressed up like that. People still dress like cowboys today. It's a trend.
Never know. Yeah. Also, like, maybe cowboys were still going on, but I have no idea.
I feel like cowboys have never left.
You're right.
Once they came,
people are still cowboys.
Cowboys. Cowboys are for life.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a cowboy there. And there's also a woman that they see up there. The woman that I said named Sarah. Mm-hmm. She is seen on the second floor a lot. So there is a story. There was a wedding here, which I couldn't tell if they meant there was a wedding ceremony at the actual place or if they went there after their wedding.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was the couple who had just got married and they had their limo driver with them.
Okay.
And so they're all sitting there after the ceremony and the limo driver, he's like, "Hey, who is that woman on the balcony? Is that a photographer or something? Like, did you guys hire somebody to take pictures? Like, who is she?" And he describes this woman and the people who work there. They're like, "Oh, that's Sarah."
No big deal.
And yeah, so they described the ghost of this woman named Sarah. The staff was all familiar with. And they're like, "Yeah, she's just here." So she was just hanging out on the balcony.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what I would do if I was a ghost. Hang out on the balcony.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, those are like the main ghost stories that I was able to find at the Slippery Noodle. They did actually have some ghost tours at the end of 2020 to draw people back to the inn. And I'm guessing like they still do them from time to time. Like they have to, right?
They have to.
I did see somewhere said that they will do a tour if you ask.
Oh, well, period. So, okay.
So we should ask. Enough. They said that you have to call ahead and make sure it's not too busy.
Okay. But well, that's easy enough.
We should do it.
I'm down.
Go to Indianapolis.
Yeah.
I've never...
Thursday? No, I'm just kidding.
Go to Indiana. So yeah, that is the story of the Slippery Noodle Inn.
Listen, I don't think I'll ever get over that name, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. Just like, I love the Slippery Noodle Inn.
Yeah. No, I love it.
I don't get it, but I do love it. Okay, also, I forgot to mention, before I get into my story, there was one other thing that I did in Spain that was crazy. And you reminded me of it because I went into some tunnels.
Oh, okay.
So, Tarragona, Spain. It's like an hour, a little bit over an hour away from Barcelona, down south of Spain. And that's where the ancient Roman Colosseum was, because it used to be called Tarracon, I think. Something like that.
Okay.
Basically, this city of Tarracon is now underneath what is today Tarragona. And I went in the tunnels of the ancient city. So they are blocked off, some of them, and we only got to go so far in. It was crazy down there. There were sarcophaguses. There were ancient graves. It was like catacomb level.
Oh my God. What?
It was crazy. I have some pictures from down there. We couldn't go too far in, but our tour guide said that most people in Tarragona, now this, I would live in Tarragona except for this. Most places, most homes in Tarragona have access to the tunnels.
Now, what?
Like,
wait, what?
Yeah.
Does that mean if you're in the tunnels, you can go in?
Like, people could come into your house from the tunnels, I think. What? Or, like, you could go into the tunnel. Now, I know you haven't seen it, Savannah.
Wait, why? What?
Because, well, I don't know why.
Do people actually go through them?
No. Not really. Not really. And most people get it sealed off to where, like, they can't actually enter or exit. Okay. But, like, it's there.
Part of me is like, why would I kind of want to use them?
Same.
If I had access.
Same. But you don't ever know, like, which part could be, like, blocked off.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm going to go farther. I want to go to somebody's house, like at least to somebody's door and see. But I know you haven't seen the movie, but I'm sure people who are listening have seen the movie Barbarian. And that is precisely what this is giving. Savannah, let me give you a quick synopsis.
Yeah, because I have no idea what you're talking about.
This couple like rents an Airbnb, and the Airbnb, they go to the basement, and then the basement has like an entrance to this tunnel.
Oh.
And inside the tunnel, it's a horror movie. There's some not good things. So, that's why that relates to that.
Okay.
So yeah. But, so yeah, I did go in the tunnels. It was crazy. It was so crazy. And like, we didn't get to walk to, they have a soccer field, football, of course, but soccer, if you're in America, a soccer field under there, because soccer is obviously their biggest sport over there. And one last thing that I did in Spain before I get into my story was I had fallen asleep. I needed a nap so bad after walking thousands of miles, not literally, but miles and miles one day. And I woke up and they eat dinner at like literally any time of the day. So it was like 10:30 p.m. We were like, let's go get some dinner. We walked over to get some dinner. Me and Dina are oblivious to the fact that the Euro finals are happening.
Oh, right.
And it turns out, I think it was the UK and Spain playing.
Yeah.
Spain won. And we figured that out when we are walking back home from dinner, and everybody's screaming, like honking their car horns, and like, Viva España! And it was such a fun thing to be a part of. People were just running down the streets with flags, really fun, and everybody had their jerseys on, and everybody was so hype. So that was really fun too.
Okay.
But that
is awesome.
That was all in Tarragona, so that was very fun, very crazy, very historical. But anyway, moving along to my story today, I have for you the legend of Montserrat. Dun, dun, dun. So, as I've mentioned this whole entire episode, I got the privilege to go to Spain. And while I was there, without even knowing, I stumbled across the wildest legend I've heard of in my life. Never have I heard of it before.
I'm ready for this.
I had no idea it was going to happen. And then an entire day became part of this legend. And I was like, what is going on? This is crazy. So yeah, like I said, I had no prior knowledge of this. And this trip was like booked for me. So I was like, it was honestly perfect for me. So I was like frantically writing notes in my phone, and I was recording our tour guide of what she was saying.
Yeah.
That's just so I wouldn't forget anything. So, because honey, I was shook. I was so shook. So Montserrat is a small mountain range about an hour away from Barcelona in Spain. And it is one of the most beautiful and unique mountain structures I have ever seen in my life. And when you see it, like, there's quite literally no reactions other than tears, because it's just like that beautiful. And it, like, I showed you some pictures before we started just so you can see, like, there's just I can't describe it. Like, in real life, it doesn't even look real in real life. It was so weird. You'll just have to see our Instagram for some pictures or Google it if you want to. It is insane how beautiful it is. And it's all naturally occurring rocks, but they're really weirdly shaped. Really weirdly shaped like people, low-key.
The pictures that you showed me definitely looked like people.
And those were pictures that I took with my phone. Like, and they just look like giants standing above this small village that was built in there. So you got to see, like, there was a little tiny village in there, you know, like a few buildings and a church. That wasn't always there. It used to be just the mountain and one singular house on there. So all I know is that if you go to Barcelona, you have to go see Montserrat. It's an hour away. It doesn't matter. Just take the bus, go, because it's the craziest mountain I've ever seen. And I have seen some crazy mountains in my lifetime, but nothing like Montserrat. But let's get into some legends of this magical little mountain. We're going to start with the biggest legend of Montserrat, the Black Madonna. Fun fact, when I went to Spain, I was under the impression that they spoke Spanish. Mainly, they actually speak Catalan or Catalonian, which is a mixture of Spanish and French because they border France.
Oh, I didn't even realize that was.
No, me neither. I didn't know it was the language. Yeah, I learned. I have a whole list of words that I learned.
That totally makes sense though. Like, but if you're gonna live near each other, exactly. It's gonna blend.
Exactly, but they do like know Spanish, and like they kind of they know it, you know. So I could speak, and honestly, a lot of people were questioning where I was from because I could speak Spanish like a little bit. And I was like, period. All those lessons did something for me.
But
I did have a minor in Spanish, I would hope.
Well, there you go.
You know, come on. But, I was like, Catalan, wow, wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
So, this is an old Catalonian legend, which is really cool. But in Catalan, the language, her name is La Morenera. But in English, they call her the Black Madonna. It's just like the translation.
Yeah.
Plus, she is literally black. So, the Black Madonna is a statue.
Okay.
And she's black, but she's outlined in gold, kind of.
Okay.
And so before I describe more what she looks like, let me tell you her story. She was discovered in the year 888. 888. So my story is just a little bit older than yours.
Like 1,000.
Yeah, 1,000 years. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So some random day in the year of 888, there were some shepherds that were climbing this mountain. Can you imagine just being a shepherd and finding this mountain? Oh they were climbing it, and they found a cave. So they were like, yeah, let's go in the cave, explore. Obviously, what else do you do? And it is specifically called Santa Cova, or the Santa Cave, which I love. I'm like, ho, 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 Merry Christmas.
Like, does it have to do with that at all?
I don't think so.
No,
well, maybe.
Okay.
But no, I think that's just what it's called. But they were drawn to the cave because they were seeing what they describe as balls of fire coming out of the cave.
What? Oh my God.
So yeah, obviously they were like, okay, we have to go explore.
Yeah.
Like, what is these balls of fire? When they go into the cave, they find this statue that was literally black and gold of a woman, and the woman was holding a smaller child who looked the same as her. This is now what we know as the Black Madonna.
Right.
Obviously. So these shepherds, they go back down the mountain and they go tell their friends what they found. And one of their friends just so happened to be a priest, and he was like, that's cool. I want that in my church.
Yeah.
Let's bring her to my church. Of course, for good luck. Because, obviously they're like, if we find this magical statue in the middle of a cave, she's got to be good luck.
Yeah. I mean,
personally, me, I would immediately think curse, but
back
in 888, I would probably be like, yeah, she's probably good luck.
Yeah.
So, they climb this mountain. They get a group of men together to go move the statue. It's a pretty far walk, right? Like, it's not like close. They also have to go up and down the mountain.
Yeah.
With this statue. So I don't know how many men, but it's a big group of men. Surely strong enough to carry this statue. In the statue, I did, in fact, spoiler alert, see her. She's not small, but she's not big. Like, she's medium size. I don't know what to compare her to.
Okay.
Like, maybe your little 3-tier nightstand type deal.
Yeah.
Like, maybe 3 feet tall.
Okay.
That's my estimate.
Right.
Maybe a little bit bigger, but not too big. So, this big group of strong men should be able to carry her.
Yeah, seems like it.
Of course. So, they move her.
Okay.
They start to move her anyway. But then the legend says that with each step that they took, it was as if she would gain 10 more pounds, and she would get heavier and heavier and heavier with each step that the men would take.
Oh.
So much so that they only got 0.2 of a mile away with her before she was too heavy for any of them to carry.
Okay.
So 0.2.
So they really could just not. They're like, we're not moving this.
Absolutely not. And these people, were very religious people, so they took this as a sign that she did not need to nor want to leave these mountains.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it sounds like to me.
And unlike what would happen today, which I feel like they would just like fly some heavy duty tank out there to get her, they were like, let's leave her up there. Yeah. And instead of bringing her to the church, let's build a church for her. So they build a church for her, which is now known as the monastery on the top of Montserrat. And they put her in this church. So I did, in fact, get to go into the monastery, and I did, in fact, see Black Madonna with my own eyes. I will show you her.
I love that.
Right now. Really, so I did already show you this picture. This is inside of the monastery. But what I didn't show you is that right here in the middle, that's Black Madonna right there. My God. I have a better picture of her real quick. And if you want to see these pictures, definitely go on our Instagram and see. And I also, actually, I'll save that story till the end of my story. Okay. But I won't forget. Trust me. Yeah. So, one day, at some point in time, in the past, a very long time ago, but after 888, there was a man who had a very serious ailment to his leg. And he had heard of a lot of people going to visit the Black Madonna. And he figured, well, I might as well try to go see what's going on and see if she can help me. So he made a trip up Montserrat. Like, I can't describe to you how hard that would be to hike. They say it's 10 to 15 miles. So that's a lot straight up. Mm-hmm. So this man with a hurt leg did that. Which was probably all the power that he had in him. So this was really like his breaking point. He was like, she has to help me. But he did, in fact, make it up the mountain and wished upon the Black Madonna, touched her hand, made an offering, and left. And within a few days, the man's leg was perfectly healed. He could walk again completely normal. It was completely fine. Like, the doctors had told him, like, oh, there's nothing you can do. But he was healed after he wished upon the Black Madonna and then gave her an offering and touched her. So this is now like the most popular story when it comes to the Black Madonna that they tell, and it's really what started this new legend that happens today. So Montserrat, as I've said, is a very, very religious place. The only people that live there are a group of monks, which I did get the pleasure of seeing one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Walking around. You can't talk to them. But, I did see one. He was wearing it was honestly kind of scary. Like, it was really hot, and he was wearing a long black cape with a hood. Not scary, but, like, you know the vibe of a monk. Yeah. Like, and it was really hot out there. I was like, that man has got to be hot. There is also a covenant, I don't know the word, of nuns. Okay. But they live down closer to the bottom of the mountain. But we did get to see their house. And fun fact, they have Spain's largest pool. But our tour guide said she does this tour every single day. Yeah. For the past 7 years and has never once seen anybody in the pool.
Why would they have it?
They don't know. They don't know. They said it's their greatest mystery as to why they have the big. Like, they really don't know.
They have the biggest pool, but they're not going to use it at all?
Like, do they not use it at night? Here's my theory. Yeah, do they use it at night? Because they know people won't be seeing them. That's my guess. That's my guess. Because they know that route is, like, coming off of Montserrat. So that's my guess, is that they night swim. Yeah. But good for them to have a big pool. Or whatever they want to do with the pool, I guess, you know. But back at the top of the mountain, there was also this really small hotel. So you can stay up there if you want to. But it said that if you are staying the night at Montserrat, there are 2 things that you should be doing, and 2 things only. And that is work and prayer. So when you go to the hotel there, you get a bed, a bathroom, and a Bible. And that's it. Nothing else. So because all you should be doing is working and praying. And if you're on vacation, then all you should be doing up there is praying. So,
yeah. Or do they not want you to stay there if you're on vacation?
No, they don't really want people staying there unless they're like church, like,
right?
In the church people,
Yeah.
But yeah, you can stay up there if you want to. Yes. So, but anyway, the church that was built for the Black Madonna is referred to as the monastery. And in the monastery, they have mass twice every single day.
Okay.
And I was lucky enough to go when they were having their first mass of the day, which I could not attend, obviously, because no just tourists can go to the mass.
So they don't just like allow anybody to go?
No. It has to be like the monks only, pretty much.
I see. Yeah.
For up there, anyway. But once it was over, we were allowed to go inside, and this is where the legend comes in. So I was offered the chance to do this, but I need you to know that I did not do it before I tell you.
Okay.
And there is a reason.
All right.
So you can get in line to go up to the Black Madonna, make a wish or a miracle, and then you have to go down into this room, say this prayer, blow out a candle, and then make an offering to her if you want your wish to come true. And that is what you can do. The line was extremely long. Extremely long.
Yeah.
But I also didn't really realize before going that this was a really religious place. And I was not in the best outfit.
Yeah.
And
no,
I really just didn't. I felt kind of disrespectful even just being in there.
Yeah.
With the way everybody else was dressed and the fact that mass had just gotten out.
I see.
So it was like all these people who really needed, and I was like, I just feel like I should not be going to do that.
Okay.
I also don't want to make a joke of the matter. Like, this is obviously very serious.
Mm-hmm.
And I also didn't want to curse myself in case I did something wrong.
Right.
Yeah. So there was a lot of things that played into it, but I also didn't just want to disrespect them.
Yeah.
So I chose to not do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I could have if I wanted to. And so, yeah, a lot of people did go. Nobody that I was with did it, but a lot of people did do it. And so I do obviously plan on going back to Barcelona one day, and maybe I'll do it next time. Next time I'll know what to wear. Yeah. I'm going to cover up a little bit more.
I feel like I would want to do it.
I wanted to do it. But we only had a certain amount of time in between, our free time, quote unquote.
Right.
To do things before we had to take the bus back down, and we wanted to do some other things that were going on.
Yeah, see, that is the issue, too.
So it was, literally, I would have had to wait in that line the whole time to get to do it. And I still wouldn't have been promised that I would have got to do it.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Instead, I chose to spend my time at an art museum that is also located on the top of Montserrat, which holds some of the most incredible original pieces from many different people, such as Picasso, Dali, and Monet. And I was so close to these artworks that I could see the paintbrush strokes. I was literally bawling my eyes out.
Was there any that you had seen before?
Totally.
Oh my God.
Totally.
Because obviously there's these paintings that everybody's
Let me show you
seen.
This one. And
to see them in real life would be crazy.
I've seen this one, and this was the Picasso. I don't know if you've seen that one, but I was so I went right directly up to it, and it was insane. The brush strokes and how the paint dried so heavy in some places and so light in other places. I was like, Picasso literally touched this.
Yeah.
That's crazy. He did this. It was insane. And another insane thing that I got to see that I was not expecting in this art museum was a mummified human body unwrapped.
What?
In a sarcophagus, open.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I was not prepared for that. And no, I did not take a picture of that. I did not want any bad juju. I assume they donated their body to science.
How old was it?
Very.
But how did they know they donated it to science?
I don't know. What if they don't know. And I don't have the answers to that. I don't know. But and it's also because we were like there was so little time. We basically had to run through the museum, and that was towards the end. So I didn't get to read this whole like thing on the wall for what it was, but I did see it, and I was like, wow. First of all, it really does keep everything together. I mean, the skin not the same color as it is when they're alive. I'll tell you that. Yeah. But other than that, I was like very surprised. And also I got to see a mummified alligator, which was very interesting. Yeah, it was crazy. But that is not the only legend of Montserrat. Okay. There's actually so many that I can't cover them all today. But I will cover one more for you. One that I actually did experience. Well, not experience. Hold on, let me rewind that. But that I got directly told about. So, and this one's more of a curse, honestly. Okay. So, I will show you one more picture from this trip. So, if you look right here, like this building that I'm showing you, yes, that's the monks' quarters, the living quarters. Okay. So, you see these rocks up here, yes, right? That's part of the mountain. This, like, flatter rock, you see it at the top? It's small. There used to be a big chunk of rock above that was part of that until one day it fell. And it fell on like the anniversary of the Black Madonna's like church being built. I don't remember how many years, what anniversary it was, but it was a really like strange day for it to fall. The rock fell down the hill and crashed into the monks' living quarters, killed one of them. Oh my god. Yeah. And so they do in fact call that rock the Devil's Rock. Well, yeah. Obviously. And they have a little building up there. You couldn't see it in the picture. You have to like stand back further to see it. Okay. And it's a small church. And they did that. They put a small little church building up there to show the devil that God is always above him. Oh, okay. So I was like, okay, period. Get into it. But fun fact, inside of the monks' quarters, you're not going to believe what I'm about to say because I was shook, is the largest library in Spain. Oh, and what? We were not allowed to go in there, sadly.
What books do you think they have?
I don't know.
Like, do you think they have Twilight?
I mean, if it's Spain's largest, like,
they have probably, to, right?
Probably. Like they have. I mean, all they literally do is work and pray and read. Oh my god. So probably, I wonder which one's their favorite. Do they have the Hunger Games?
Right. Like
I need to Divergent. Mm-hmm. Do they have Colleen Hoover? I hope
like it can't just be a million different Bibles. Like
right. Well, there's not that many Bibles.
Like you're right.
Yeah. Who knows? And it was so funny. Our tour guide was like, so if you do want to see inside the monks' quarters, there is one way. And we were like, ooh, what is it? And she was like, become a monk.
Become a monk. Yeah.
Yep. She was like, yeah, I have lived here my whole life. I've never seen the inside. I never will. So, so sad. But, so let's see. I don't know how I've lost, my spot. Somehow.
That's okay.
Anyway. So, even though I did not touch the Black Madonna herself, I did bring the Black Madonna back to North Carolina for Savannah in a snow globe. Yes. Because it said that she will bring you luck no matter where she is, even if it is a copy. So, hopefully, it brings you luck and us luck in the future.
I'm going to bring it everywhere with me. Now that I know the story behind it, I'm going to bring it with me and give her offerings.
Yes, exactly. And there are a few more legends of this mountain that I like need to go back to and do like a part 2 one day because I was like, I was shook when I Googled it and found like 10 more legends and I was like, okay, we don't have the time today, but we might have the time, next week, some other time at least. But I did want to mention, I did just want to briefly mention one of the other legends that I found. Okay. I didn't deep dive. This is just very surface level.
Yeah.
Maybe a little teaser for what could be to come one day. But since the 1300s, which is so long ago, people have claimed to see weirdly moving stars on Montserrat. And if you think about it, in 888.
Yes.
I can't even fathom the year.
Yeah.
In the year 888, what led them to the Black Madonna was balls of fire.
Yeah.
And so even in the 1300s, people are still claiming to see weird moving, at this point, they're calling them weirdly moving stars.
Yeah.
But
that's just reminding me of the green
lights.
Ones that I was
the green
talking
orbs.
about. The green balls of fire that people were talking about.
Yep.
Interesting.
Very interesting. And so that leads me to tell you that in the early 1900s, moving way fast forward in time, people started claiming to be abducted by aliens while on the top of Montserrat. And I'm like, is this because the rock formations are so strange? Because that, in and of itself, I was like, aliens look like they built this or they belong here. Because this is the weirdest looking mountain I've ever seen in my life. I don't know why they look like that.
They
come out of nowhere too. Like, I need you to know it's flat. Like, obviously there's some hills. There's a few hills here and there. But it's like flat, plain land. And then all of a sudden, boom, it's just a mountain range of weird looking, like, people looking rocks. It's really, really weird. I don't know. And
like, I have a conspiracy that they,
conspiracy.
Like, beings that were on this planet before us, like, carved it out.
Oh, okay. I like that theory.
Yeah.
It could. It really does look carved because it looks so unnatural.
Yeah, and if it was carved out like a long time ago, then it would look like
have
that.
Weathered down.
Like, weathered down.
But according to the Catalonian people, they look like that because God made them like that.
Yeah. Well,
he wanted to make this beautiful masterpiece. So
yeah.
I guess we might never know. I'm going to have to deep dive into the other legends, get some more personal alien stories maybe. But I will end on this one last thing. And this one last thing is a crazy sentence to end on, okay?
Oh, okay.
It's another scraping the top of another legend. Some people believed that Montserrat was actually where the Holy Grail was hidden.
Oh, wow.
Before we found it today. But and I can't remember where we found it, but regardless, people thought that Montserrat might have been where the Holy Grail was. And it's interesting because it was Hitler and the Nazis that believed it the most. So much so that they took a trip to Montserrat and looked for the Holy Grail. Looked for a long time, but they did not find it. So haha, sucks for them. Haha, glad they didn't find it. Hitler, haha.
Oh my god.
So yeah, that's wild. But yeah, that is at least part 1 of the legend of Montserrat.
That's a lot. Oh my god. I didn't realize this place was so like
I'm saying, can you imagine how shook I was when I was getting all this information thrown at me and I was like, dude, what? Like, what?
It's got a lot going on.
And it's so much more than I thought. Like, I thought I was just going wine tasting.
Right. Oh, so
this was like the wine tasting and Montserrat, like, together. No, honey.
Wow.
I was getting a full day of legends. It was crazy. And then I got to drink some good wine.
Yeah.
It was good, too. It was really good. And, okay, fun fact. And last fun fact, I promise. Did you know that the color of the wine you would think that it's just based on the color of the grape, right?
Yeah.
Nuh-uh, not always.
Okay.
Most wines are based on the color of the grape. But some wines, when they're made, they peel the grape and it depends on the color of the grape inside, not the peel. So I had some red wine. White wine that was made from red grapes.
Oh.
Yep, because they peeled the skin off before they made the wine. It tasted like white wine.
Oh, white. Oh, so it's the peel that made.
Yeah, wow. I know. It was crazy. I was like, okay, wow, didn't know that. Learned so many new things.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, and I do have one more thing.
Okay.
I swear, I actually promise this will be the last thing. Yeah. We have to wrap this up.
Yeah.
But in the wine tasting, there was about 20 of us. We're sitting at this big table together, and our tour guide is like, okay, this is your Spain family. Everybody go around the table and introduce yourself.
Aww.
Say where you're from and say one fun fact about you. Of course, I had to go first. Of course, I said, I'm Taylor. I'm from Winston-Salem, North Carolina in the United States, and I have a podcast.
Yeah.
Obviously, I had to promo. Duh.
Of course.
Duh.
If anyone's listening from that, hi.
Shout out. Yeah, if you're listening from Spain, hola. Shout out. So they go around the table. Obviously, me and the two other people I'm with say the same thing as I did, like Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Then the two girls beside of us, they were like, oh, we're from the Philippines. And then there was a family of 4 from Raleigh, North Carolina. Across the table, another family of 4 that were not together with they're 2 separate families of 4 from Durham, North Carolina.
Why is what?
And then the rest of the people, there were just 2 other people from Vermont.
You guys got into the North Carolina group.
And the tour guide was like, oh, wow, this has not happened before. And I was like, that is so weird.
This is across the world.
Across
you're all
the world.
From North Carolina.
Yeah. We were like, oh. But, honey, let me tell you. I knew that at least one other person wasn't from North Carolina or South, because on the bus, this is all I heard right behind me, y'all. She was like, this mountain is just absolutely ginormous, and I just can't wait to drink me some wine. You know how much I love wine? And me and Dana just kept looking at each other like, oh, they're from where we're from, for sure. So, it was...
I love that.
It was funny.
Oh, my God.
But, yeah.
That's so cool, though, to connect with people across the world,
I know.
Even though
we live close together. Yeah. It's so crazy. It's so weird. But, yeah, the world really is small.
Yeah, and
real.
The chances of you guys running into each other again,
right?
Like you probably could.
We could easily could. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. But yeah, so you're definitely gonna you literally have no choice actually this week but to check out our Instagram.
Yeah, no, you have to.
You have to. It's myths_podcast. If you don't know, it's also linked below
because it's the Black Madonna.
Yeah, so you want good luck, right? So you have to look at the Instagram, and on top of that good luck, what would give you more good luck is if you go rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Yes, it would.
That's my personal legend.
See,
anyway.
That's actually what Taylor's wish would have been if she got to go.
Yeah, it actually probably would have been. And, I'm going back. So, I say that here, I say that right now, I will be going back. Because, let me tell you why. La Sagrada Familia, it's not finished being built yet.
Wait, what?
Nope. They have a whole other, they have one more, a third of it left. It was being built while I was there. There was building.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I have to go back, obviously, when it's finished.
Yeah.
And that is when I will go and I will wish upon the Black Madonna.
Yes.
And I'll let you guys know. But yeah. Well, it's been a long one. So thanks for listening to my Spain trip chronicles and everything else. And that crazy end with some concrete over bodies I can't get over. And I can't get over George just being there when the lights come on. That's going to traumatize me. You don't have a basement.
There's a crawl space.
Okay, but that's not the same.
No.
I'm going to be scared to go to my basement now. Thank you. I'm already scared to go in my basement.
Yeah.
But anyway, I guess I'll see George down there. But that's all I have for you guys this week. What about you, Savannah?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, well, I guess we will see you guys next week.
All right, cue the music.